welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, as you may already have noticed, and today we are going to have a look at 3 different games again, which will be Bunny Pop. So, because today is Easter, I'm going to use that one because it's more or less Eastern themed. And the second game will be Monsterland, and the third game will be Eventide 3, Legacy of Legend. And yeah, today we are going to have a look at these games using, for instance, this Arc mouse again. As you already know, that are the couple of things I'm going to use for input devices. And there is going to be the Foldable keyboard, of course, which is its keyboard here. And in theory, the Xbox One as well as controller, but that one is not going to be used in this episode, so I'm going to put it aside for now. And yeah, as always, we've got the Lumia 950 XL, which is this Windows 10 mobile-powered smartphone with a wood cover at the back, and it's connected with a USB-C cable, a new one, because I had a couple of different problems with audio transmission with the other one I used, but this one seems to be better. And yeah, this one is connected to the display dock at the side here. The display dock at the side is connected with the TV again by HDMI, and like that I can project more or less this desktop-like experience and use, for instance, my mouse and the keyboard and everything I showed you to control everything here. And everything is created by the smartphone itself, so the computing unit is really just the smartphone, nothing else. There's no computer involved or something other than that the mobile computer, of course, in the smartphone. And yeah, this is more or less what Continuum is all about. If you want to know more about that, please have a look at the corner up there. There I'm going to talk about it in a little bit more detail. And then I would say let's start with the first game. The first game is going to be Bunny Pop. So I'm just going to my all apps list here, and I'm going to use Bunny Pop. Bunny Pop is, yeah, a little bit Easter like whatever. It's about rabbits at least, and they have a couple of different things here. I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit with my keyboard, because on the Foldable keyboard there are a couple of different functional keys here, and for instance that one increases or decreases the audio volume. This is what I'm going to do here. And yeah, what you already can see here, we have a little bit of a game which is more or less yeah, separated in different levels in this case, and we are going to use our mouse in this case to control it. There are a couple of different options here, but most of them are not really important, so we are just going to leave it as it is. And what you can see here already is there are a couple of different levels I already have played. I'm going to start with the first one just to show you what's going on here. And in the end, it's a bubble shooter game. As you can see, it's more or less this carrot cannon you're going to operate here, and you are trying to free those little bunnies there, because you're the mother of those bunnies, and the bunny babies are more or less, yeah, I think caught by somebody. I'm not sure who put them in there, but you have to free them. And yeah, for that you of course can just turn around this bunny cannon here, or this carrot cannon, and you have of course to connect the color you see here with the color you see at the top here, the bubbles or the Easter eggs or whatever it should be. And if you do that, they are going to be more or less popped. So if you're firing at them, the same colored bubbles will pop up, and like that all the other things which are connected to them are going to drop down and will be available. And as you can see, we already freed 2 of the babies here. And now you're going to shoot, of course, in a way that you need less shoots, so less rounds more or less, to solve the puzzle here. And if you do that in a great way, then all the different babies are going to be happy and yeah, freed more or less. And you are going to be happy too, of course. And you're going to win something. And as you can see, there is again different, certain kind of marker more or less you're going to get, so the grade you got there. And it's shown here, and as you can see, we even achieved a little bit of a better high score than before. And we can now go to next and play the next level. And all of these are of course the same. I'm going to play the 5th level now with you, because why not? And as you can see, collect all the carrots now, so it's not about only the baby. Sometimes it's about the baby, sometimes about the eating and something, or something to eat, and other stuff you will see. And as you can see, now we have these carrots here, and as you can see, we can fire on them with, it doesn't really matter which kind of color it has, because this is more or less one that will just help us to get the carrot then. And if I fire on that here, as you can see, we are trying to achieve something. So what we are going to try to achieve is of course to more or less get not to the ground. So if you're firing that much with your carrot cannon that more or less all the bubbles are going to the ground, you're going to lose. If you need too many steps, you're going to not achieve a great grade here, great mark, whatever. And that is more or less what we are going to do. But the good thing about bubble shooters is that if you, for instance, kill that one, everything that is attached to that will drop down too. And this is a great thing, because then if you, for instance, have one of the colors you don't use in this case, or you just misclicked or something, then you're still able to fire on stuff and still be fine. And another thing that you can do is you can switch the color. So for instance like this. In this case it's not going to matter anymore, because as you can see, all of the colors I can switch to are more or less the same at the moment. So what we are going to try is to more or less shoot in between those. If we get that, then we get the carrot and we get the yellow ones here. I would like to fire in here, but I don't think... okay. Just about it... just about it really got in there, and now we are going to get that one. It's not about getting all the bubbles or something, so you're not going to have to click on or fire on all the bubbles, but you really have to get the different tests you're going to see there. And the good thing about it is that, for instance, all the bubbles which are still sticking to the upper or the ceiling more or less, it's going to help you, because they are going to give you additional points and stuff like that. So just try to really get exactly what is asked by them, and that may even give you higher points than anything else. Okay, and in some situations it's a good idea to try to, for instance, shoot on the side. I'm going to show you that. If you go do that here, for instance, you're going to get this kind of rebounds behavior, and that is going to help you in many situations too. This is going to be pretty interesting. If I fire that, as you can see, everything that is attached to it will fall down. That helps a lot in this case. Let's do something like that again here. And now we can do one of the rebounds. I don't need them at the moment, but just to show you what's going on there. And this is going to be, it didn't work out, but in the end it would have been cool if I would have gotten that one, but I couldn't. But it doesn't really matter. We are still fine to go here. See? And now we can, for instance, use one of the rebounds and shoot something pretty amazing, hopefully. At least that one might be. Okay, in some situations you're really going to have to fire in a way, more or less in a blind way, because you don't know what is going up on there. But sometimes you're going to win a lot then, sometimes not, it's just like in real life. And now just click on it. And yeah, this is more or less what we have to do here. We got all the bunnies now out. And hopefully, yeah, because we got 10 moves left, we still got a lot of points here and got the 3-star rating. Yeah, and this is more or less what you are going to do in this game. So a bubble shooter in the end, but a very nice one, and it's Easter themed. So try it out if you want to play it around Easter now. It might be a good idea to do that. Okay, so let's have a look at the second game. The second game is called Monsterland, and Monsterland is a side-scroller where you are going to jump over different things and shoot on different things, because Monsterland is really what its name suggested. You are going to run around as a guy or a girl, you can choose between them, with a shotgun, and you're trying to overcome all the different obstacles and stuff like that. It's not very easy to play, if you ask me. So you are going to die pretty early in the game, probably at least. I'm going to use the keyboard for that, so the Foldable keyboard in this case, and I'm going to turn around to play this game, because otherwise it's really a little bit too hard for me to play. And yeah, just to let you know what you have to press here, it's WASD and E to fire. So if you press E, you are going to fire, WASD for all the other stuff. And this is very important. Oh, and if you want to jump, for instance, it's space or it's W, depending on what you like to use there. And that's more or less what you will need for this one. It's automatic running, so you're not going to have to do anything else there. And if you click on New Game, you can choose between the girl and the boy guy. And there's this normal and boss mode. I will show you both. First I will go to the normal mode, and I'm going to use the girl, why not? And let's run a little. As you can see, there are going to be obstacles in here. And you shouldn't fall down, of course, as I did now. And you can fire your shotgun, as you can see. Good thing is you can fire that as often as you want to. Just don't forget to do anything else like I'm doing in this case. But as you can see, this is more or less a game. It's going to shift between different areas, more or less, from time to time at least. And all you have to do here is to fire at the zombies, collect all the different points there. And as you can see, you're not going to die in an instant, but you got a couple of different parts there. So those are more or less the lives, which are not going to matter if you're going to drop down, of course. But as you can see, we got a new high score of about 800 meters. I've run here with 22 kills in this case. And as you can see, we're in a little bit of a different spot here. And in the end, everything wants to kill you. That's more or less what you can think of here. And yeah, there are those boxes I'm always missing. Those boxes contain another weapon, for instance. So if you get that, let's see if we can get one of those. At the moment you're firing with a shotgun, but interesting part is if you, for instance, jump on one of the monsters in the right way. Ouch. Okay. In the right way, it's going to help you too. But let's see if I can't get that. Come on. Okay, I didn't get it again. So the box you see there with the question mark on it, that is going to give you some kind of a power up. It can be a different weapon, it can be a different a different speed up, for instance, or something like that. It depends on what you're going to get out of it. And that is more or less the game. So after that, if you collected enough of the coins, you can go to the store, for instance, and buy another weapon too. So if, for instance, you didn't get the question mark box, then you are able to buy everything else too. As you can see, 2,000 of those are necessary to get, for instance, an M16 or a bazooka for 4,000 and stuff like that. And there are a lot of different other things here too. For instance, you can get that kind of thingy. I'm not sure what this is at all. Jetpack is possible, laser jetpacks, and a lot more. So for instance, one more heart for 15,000, so that you can play longer. Let's play one more time, because I just like it. There's a little bit of a lag if... Oh, damn. Ouch. There's a little bit of a lag if you're going to collect the coins. I really don't like that. It's very, very bad for a side-scroller. But yeah, you just have to jump through them to collect them then, and that might help you a little bit. But other than that, it's a pretty fun game, especially if you like this kind of side-scrollers and you're good at that. I'm really not. And so just try it out. I think it's a nice one if you like side-scrollers and this kind of fast-paced gameplays. Then this is a really, really great one. Okay, and for the other players, I've got a third entry in this episode, and that is Eventide 3, Legacy of Legend. And yeah, in the end, it's a pretty nice game again by Artificial Mundi, I think, which is more or less an adventure game again, and it's a pretty good one again. So let's start that up. I couldn't figure out how to get an English version of it. I think I would have to change the language of the whole device or something. I'm not going to do that at the moment. But it really doesn't matter, because the voice acting and stuff like that is in English. It's only the written text that is going to be in German then, and I'm going to explain that anyway to you, so whatever. And as you can see, it's Eventide 3, the Legacy of Legends, more or less. And I'm going to go to play now, and I'm going to turn around, of course, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to play this game in a good way. It's an adventure game.
Nature always fascinated me. That's why I became a botanist. But my family had a unique heritage. Magic was alive in our blood. It was this magic that helped me in my research. When I was looking for a safe place for the fern flower, I asked my brother for help.
My sister, the PhD botanist. How can you believe in all this magical nonsense?
Take it easy, big bro. There's so much more to this world than your serious science. This flower has unique powers.
Yeah, and there we are. As you can see, it's about a brother and a sister, and you're going to play the woman character in this case, and in the end, you're going to plant some kind of a flower, which is magical, so you're in a magical world in this case, and that will more or less cause a little bit of trouble, I think, because it's going to wake up some kind of a god or something. I'm not sure about it. And yeah, this is more or less what we are going to play here, so let's have a look at that. I'm going to let Maria in there, so give yourself a name, of course, but I'm going to use Maria in this case, why not? And as you can see, we can have a look at different things here. So for instance, we can just play the first I think, chapter or something, and we are going to do that at the moment. And after that, you would have to pay to get the other chapters opened up, like it's always in these adventure games from Artificial Mundi or whatever that is called. I really like them. They are really, really great, and drawn in a great way. There are really, really nice graphics around, and the storylines are nice. The puzzles are pretty nice. So let's have a look at that. As you can see, here are a couple of different options. We can go, for instance, to that. They're telling you that there are spoilers in these if you're going to click on them. So we're not going to click on any of those. But just to let you know, this is more or less something like the settings or options. It's not really much that you can put in here. For instance, the language or something isn't changeable, so it's more or less tied to the language of your phone if you are going to play this. And I'm just going to click on play here. You can choose different difficulty levels, as you already know in these games. So it's easy, normal, pretty heavy, and just customizable. And we are just going to leave it at easy in this case and have a look.
Wow, I'm surprised at how large it's grown. Still, I believe the microclimate has more to do with that, not magic.
Oh, brother, I do hope someday you'll find your way.
Another storm? The weather's been crazy since spring.
Is that snow? In July?
Quick, the storm is coming. We need to get to shelter. Let's hide in my house. Follow me!
Okay.
The wind is strong. Grab the branches to stay on your legs, Mary.
And we are in a thunderstorm, more or less. In mid-July, we are going to have snow in this case, and this is very unusual for this kind of climate there. And because of that, we are going to have to go to the hut or the cottage of the brother here to more or less try to hide from the storm. And we are going to play the introduction just to be able to do it. And so first off, we have to click on that one. And we are going to have to try to get through the storm now.
Watch out!
How did you know?
I don't know. It's just a strange feeling. Hurry up. My leg is... The stone, Mary.
Yeah, and as you already can see here, we are in pretty big trouble with the storm, and we are going to have to go through the different chases here and try to help our brother go through the top parts here. And as you can see, it's a pretty nicely drawn one. I really like all the different cut sequences which are there. I like the different trunks and the different environments they have drawn here, and it's really a pretty nice thing. So in the end, at the moment, we are just going to be shown what we can do in this game. So for instance, there is this inventory section we have to use in this case. We can click on that. And as you can see, our brother got stuck under a stone or something, and we have to lift it up. So we are going to use the trunk in this case to get
We need to
him
climb
out.
up there.
Tie the rope while I take care of these storms.
Okay, and we need to tie the rope, so in this case we will have a look at this @ sign, which is very important in this game, and we just have to put in some knots to more or less get this kind of shape of the one. If you don't know anything, or if you are just stuck in the game, you can always get this tip section. Very common for this kind of games, of course. And in this case, we are just going to try to put it on the trunk up there.
Take my hand.
There we go. And we are going to go to our brothers and try to catch his hand.
To my house.
And there is his house. We got out here, but it's not really over. It's just starting.
Oh no! What happened here? What a huge hole.
You see, there's some kind of creature in there.
Watch out! No!
Oh no, let him go! creatures. Where did they take John? Hey, what was that?
Yeah, and as you already could see here, so he was kidnapped by this magical creatures, and we have to follow him. There was this other creature which was helping us more or less, or trying to help John in this case. And we are going to have a look at that and try to help that creature, because it's covered by those, yeah, trunks more or less. So we are trying to get those away in this case. It's a pretty nice one. And just to let you know, you have to follow the right order to get those down here, but the problem is...
John, I have to help.
Are you okay? Those monsters kidnapped my brother.
You mean me? How? Oh.
Zmaze, I need to wake him up. He knows what's going on here.
Yeah, and as you can see, magical creatures are only visible to the ones which have any kind of magic in them. Because of that, he is asking, or is wondering why we can even see him, which would be a little bit troublesome anyway, because there's a trunk on you. So even if we wouldn't see you, it would be pretty awesome that this kind of trunk would stick up in the air like that, but whatever. We just have to get a couple of different things here, and as you can see, there is this kind of thingy here, which we will have to do something with, because the trunk is just too heavy for us at the moment. So let's go back.
It's strange that the storm stopped so suddenly. It was a proper blizzard.
Yep. Pretty strange. We can have a look at that again. So let's take the pocket from John in this case, and have a look at that. We got this kind of image out of it, and some kind of a little notice, and this notice is going to help us later on. I already know that. But let's have a look at what we can do for this creature here. So, as mentioned before, he is more or less stuck under this trunk, and we have to get that off of him, but it's
too heavy to
really
lift.
heavy.
I need to pull it away somehow.
As you can see. And so we're not able to help that creature at the moment. So let's see what we can do for him. And for that you just have to look around a little bit. So here are a couple of different options. For instance, this is one. And here you are going to see that there are ornaments that you can use in this case. And yeah, but in the end this is not going to help us much. So we can, for instance, put that here. But it's just activating the flow of the water, but that is all we can do at the moment. Here's another one. As you can see, there is this little kind of shimmering on it, and this little shine there is going to help us to determine where we have to go if we don't know where we have to go. At least in the easy mode, and I think in the normal mode that is available. If you're playing hard, that is not available. But as you can see, we can, for instance, use the mouse to click, for instance, on this one and have a look at that. And as you can see, we've got something very interesting, especially because of the perspective. We already see something that is going to happen here later on, if we can get it to work. So click on the chain at the first, and yeah, this is more or less what we can do at the moment. So let's see how to get that going. We can just pick it up now, try to bring it here, but the problem is it's not going to be attachable at the moment, so we still have to, you see that here, we still have to find something else to help the creature out. So go and search for something else. So let's have a look at this. We can cover this up. Problem is, nothing is going to help us here, because the handle is more or less broken off or something, and so we're not able to go to the house in this case. But at the top here, here's something else. And yeah, there was some kind of it's called Fasan in English, in German, I'm not sure what it is in English, but it doesn't really matter. Just some kind of a bird who more or less got his eggs in this case. And yeah, we are very nature friendly, or at least friendly about all the different kind of animals in this case. So first off, we are going to create this one because we are going to need it later on, of course. And then to go out again, we have to put back the eggs in this kind of nest here. So he is going to be happy, and that will help us later on. Yeah, next part, let's go to here, and we can see that this kind of pickled stuff is available now too. And we can have a look at this, and as you can see, the notice is available now, and we could use the lock in this case, but the problem is it's pretty rusty, and so we have to have a look at that too. So what can we do for that? First off, we are going to close this down, and I don't think there's much we can do here other than that. Here's some kind of an emblem or something that is missing, so we are not going to use that at the moment. And yeah, it doesn't help us to watch that again, and this is no longer available. So let's go back, because we got this new part here. If you go to that, you can see here is something going on at this place. So what we really want to get is that one. We can't reach it with our hands or something, but we got our little helper here. So put that in and just get out this kind of handle. And the handle is of course for that part. So let's see if we can put it in here. But it doesn't help us much because there is no connection at the moment. So first off, try to go in here. Yeah, and as you can see, it really doesn't help us anyway. But the cool thing is we can go to this here, and as you can see, something is going on here. So let's get our ice pickle, at least an improvised one, and try to cover that one off and get this kind of oil we wanted there. So with this kind of oil, we can, for instance, go back and try to fix the rusty lock in this case. So just put that in. Come on. I'm going to put that on there, and now we are able to operate the lock in the end by just dragging it more or less. So just find the right sign on there to match this kind of information there. And as you can see, this should it be. We can now take that. So this one is going to help us a lot, and we can now open up the door too and have a look at different things. For instance, this is more or less an information about how many tornadoes and how many storms are going on there. And as you can see, this is the last month, and these are the months before that. And as you can see, there's a huge rise in storms in this case. It doesn't really help us or something, but it's a little bit interesting to see that. Now just have a look at the scenery here, so different things to do here. For instance, this is a nutcracker in the end, but it's going to help us a lot. And as you can see, something is here. There is ammoniac, which is going to help us probably, but we can't use it at the moment because the lock is just too tight for us, and we can't get that one open. So let's go back. And let's have a look if we can now help our little creature here. And I would say yes, we can, because we can use this lock to connect everything with each other. And now we should be able to get him out. So use the handle here, and there we go. Okay, so next step, just let's talk with him.
Must help John before Zmaze takes him to Varai.
Zmaze, Varai. I need to wake him up.
Yeah, and as you can see, we are not able to talk to him because he is more or less knocked out or something. And so just collect what we can. This kind of part we will need. And go and see if we can go into the house now. The good thing is a nut breaker or something can be used for that, to open it up. And now we are able to go into the house and have a look at the new scenery in this case. And as you can see, here's a couple of different things going on. The good thing is it's much more complex looking than what we really can do. We have only, I think, 3 points where we can do something. So first off, let's have a look at this. This is more or less a notice we have sent him to ask him to put the flower into his woods there, or into the forest. And other than that, we can, for instance, get this collectibles here, so why not? And we can have a look at this, and this is more or less about the trouble or the discussions from scientist to a magician and back and stuff like that. So it's not really important for us to watch this. Nice to know, but not really important for you. Here you can do something, for instance, I'm not sure what this is all about. I think it's just a little bit of a play, because at the moment it really doesn't matter for us. Maybe it has something to do with this book, but we're not going to have a look at that at the moment. So, So, nothing more to do at the moment. Let's go back, have a look at this, and here we have one of the more interesting parts, because this is more or less some kind of a recipe for some kind of a portion which is going to help us to wake up the little guy there. So this is very important for us. And here is a really dumb thing to do. It's more or less this ambulance box and emergency box, and it's really, they locked it. Perfect. And they locked it and got the key somewhere else. So we will have to watch for that. Really a bad thing to do. Other than that, we can have a look at a couple of different things here. For instance, the master's degree or diploma from John here. And they are telling us a little bit of the backstory, because John doesn't like newer technology, but sometimes he's going to use it too. It doesn't really matter what's going on there anyway. So let's go to the kitchen in this case and have a look at that. And as you can see, here is the recipe we found earlier. So what we need will be herbs in this case, ammoniac and menthol. I'm not sure what it's called in English. It's more or less the stuff which is in many chewing gums and stuff like that. And here's something very hot.
It's too hot.
Yep. So we are going to have to get this kind of fabric and get it away. And behind that we can find something which is going to help us, of course. And that is going to be this kind of keychain. More stuff isn't interesting at the moment, but there is one key which might help us. So let's go back here and open that up again. Okay, and now we got the first ingredients and something that is going to help us later on. And this is more or less going to help us to create everything here. So first off, we are going to put that here. First ingredient is menthol, whatever. And now we can have a look at this kind of wire here. So just get that in the right direction. And now we can go back, and if you have a look at this part and at this part, it's looking a little bit like a lock chain or something. So first off, let's do a little bit of a Rimmel game. There are pretty small amount of them in here, which is a nice thing if you ask me. It's more about the story in this case, not about this hide and seek games. What we have to find here is, of course, we need some kind of herbs in this case. Herbs are looking differently, but in the end you need any of those, and there are 18 which are going to collect in this image. So first off, just try to get all of them. And some are covered, some are not. So first let's get the ones which are not covered, and we can already just get out here. It's not totally easy to get 18 out of this image, but it's not that hard neither. So you can see we got already 7, 8 now, 9 in this case. Something is going on here. So we are going to use the stone to get that one up. There is one covered. Okay, perfect. Here's something that is pretty close to not seeable, but it's going to hide something too. We can get all the different stuff here out. Now we have 13 already. Here's another one. And yeah, she has a problem with spiders as it seems, so we can use this glove, put it in here, and get that one out too. And we need the glove a second time, because at this point there are a couple of different spiky plants and stuff like that, which are going to cover up some. Okay, now we've got 16 of those, and now it's already a little bit harder to find the last one. Give me a sec. Where is it? Or the last two ones. Ah, here something is. It's a little bit covered up, but you can still see it, and now one is missing. Good thing is, if you don't know, you can click on this tip, and it's going to tell you, here it is. Okay, pretty hard to see, but we can already use that, and we got the herbs now, which are going to help us. We're going to rate this game later on. I will rate it because it's a really nice one. I really like it again. But just to make sure we got the next ingredient, I'm going to put it here. Okay, cool. Let's go back and see where we get the other part. We already saw that it's in this kind of cupboard here, but the problem is there's this lock we can't open. But again, do you see this one? Yep. It's looking a little bit like a safe breaking thing or lock smith thing, and so we can use that and get our bottle of, what was it, ammoniac out there. Okay, that's going to help us. So let's go back, and this should more or less be it, because we can now put everything together. So just put everything in this part. Yeah, you can see it, what you have to do now here. So first off, put everything together, then use the spoon to try to mix it up, and then you are going to boil it, and then you are going to put it into this little bottle there. Okay, so first off, everything in here. Okay. Yeah. They are just telling you that the first one, so menthol, is going to smell pretty nicely, and the ammoniac isn't smelling nicely, which is normal. Now we have to mix it up. So get the spoon, do that, put that on the stove here. Just give it a little bit of time to boil, and then you are going to use this kind of part. I'm not sure what this is called in English, it's Trichter in German. And then we are trying to put in our new little portion, more or less. And if we are going to use that and bring it to the creature now, it will be helpful. Problem is we can't stay in the house now, so let's go out. As you can see, everything is breaking down. We're going to go to the creature now, giving it this kind of portion here.
Oh, I can recognize you now. You're John's sister, one who turned towards magic. That's why you can see me.
That's true. And you must be a magical creature.
I'm Ivar, the guardian of this house.
Do you know who those monsters are? Where did they take John?
They are called Zemays, and they are pure evil. They live in Varai, the land in the clouds.
I need to get there. Can you help me?
Maybe. John never accepted his heritage. But I know this box hides the story of your family. I hope you can decipher it and find a way to follow John.
Yeah, and this is more or less what you can play in this case for free. After that you have to get the next part or the next chapter of Eventide 3. I think we are going to stop here because I'm going to buy it and then play it over Eastern, of course. But if you don't want to, it's your turn, of course. So if you like this kind of game, it's a pretty nice one, as you can see, and you might find it very, very entertaining. And yeah, other than that, I would say this ends the episode in this case. I hope you had fun again. I wish you all a happy Easter and a nice time, of course. Stay healthy. If you liked this episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to ask something, put it down in the commentary section below, of course. And other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you didn't do it until now. And other than that, thanks. See you later in the next episode, and bye.